Here is Donald Trump, and apparently one of his biggest nemesis is CNN's Caitlin Collins, who won't get her foot off of his neck when asking him about his constant cover up for this Epstein situation. See if you have any reason to believe anything this guy has to say.
Were you aware of, and did you personally approve the prison transfer for Ghislaine Maxwell that your Justice Department?
I didn't know about it at all. No, I read about it just like you did.
And do you believe that she is?
It's not a very uncommon thing.
Do you believe that she's credible to be listening to? Your Deputy Attorney General sat down with her recently.
Well, let me tell you, he's a very talented man. His name is Todd Blanche. He's a very legitimate person, very high. I just a very highly thought of person, respected by everybody. And I didn't talk to him about it, but I will tell you that whatever he asked would be totally appropriate, and it's not an uncommon thing to do that. And I think he probably wants to make sure that, people that should not be involved or aren't involved are not hurt by something that would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people. But I will say this, Todd Blanche is one of the most highly respected people you'll ever meet. So I know this. I didn't discuss it with him, but anything he talked about with her or the fact that he did that, not unusual, number one, and most importantly is something that would be totally above board.
Just flipping reality on its face. What he did when Todd Blanche, his personal attorney, who's now at the Justice Department, went and spoke secretly with Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever he did, I have no idea. First off, I learned about it just like you did. In fact, I was watching you on CNN, Caitlin, when you were talking about how Ghislaine Maxwell got downgraded to that other facility, which never happens when someone has that kind of conviction on record to then be sent to that place. It's totally above board. I have no idea what Todd Blanche did. I don't tell Todd Blanche anything. He's just my personal attorney. Why would Todd Blanche do anything that helps my ass out? I don't know about it. I was just sitting there playing video games, bro. I have no idea how this whole thing happened. In fact, I'm a little bit surprised that Ghislaine Maxwell, who I just said I'm ready to pardon, I'm surprised that she got downgraded to a minimum security camp facility where then she was given these demands to us so that it can be an exchange for what it is that I need from her. But you're supposed to believe that. And he spoke glowingly of Todd Blanche. I have no idea about him, what he said and what he's doing, but I can tell you this, anything he said and that he's doing is on the total open up. Everybody respects and loves him. Who's everybody? I know a lot of people who don't respect this guy because of things that he's doing right now for your ass. There was this prison consultant who talked about how, as he said, it's totally not rare. It's very common for folks like this to get transferred to a minimum security prison camp. Here's someone who knows what they're talking about.
And certainly given her charges and the length of her sentence, it made sense that she was designated to Tallahassee. Where she is now at Bryan is a minimum security camp. There are no cells. There are no guard towers. The inmates, and I did speak to a client there today who said she hadn't seen Ms. Maxwell yet, but they have pods. So there's maybe 2 or 3 girls in a pod. Women are allowed outside from 6 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. There is no controlled movement. There's much more in terms of activities to do. I understand there's even a yoga course that's taught there. So it is a diametrically different situation from where she came. Why she was moved to a camp, I don't know. And that is a very difficult move to accomplish under any circumstances.
Why is it difficult? What do you mean?
Somebody like Ms. Maxwell, from my understanding, had at least 2 management variables associated with her case. So a management variable is a policy the Bureau of Prisons has that said that if you have a sentence greater than 10 years, you can't go to a camp. If you have greater than 20 years, you might have to go to a medium level security. If you have a charge of violence or any sexual offense, you're not typically eligible for a minimum security camp. The fact that she had at least 2 of these variables waived, one that she had more than 10 years remaining on her sentence, and certainly the charge itself, is very, very atypical. I've had clients with 1 or both of those charges, and getting a management variable waived for anyone within the Bureau of Prisons is next to impossible. To have 2 management variables waived, highly unusual.
It's highly unusual according to someone who works this life, who's a professional at it, who's actually had clients who had 1 or 2 of these charges. It's highly unlikely, but the guy who's covering everything up said it's very common. Which one would you like to believe? And if you believe the liar, think about why you want to believe that liar. Remember what he said, the president, about how common this is, that he moved her down. He had no idea. Todd Blanche is a great human being. Everyone vouches for him. He's on the up and up. He's got so much heart. The guy is the most honest man I've ever met. But again, there's people that talk about the reasons why this might happen and exactly how uncommon this is and how this is very disruptive to normal processes. I feel like he's a little bit dishonest, but don't let me tell you. Let's let a professional tell you that actually knows about this.
I can't overstate it, Brianna. It's as if the #2 executive at CNN was conducting this interview with me instead of you. Like, what? It never happens. Also, he's not going to be knowledgeable about this case like the line prosecutors who actually handled her case, like Maureen Comey, but she was fired. But there are others who could do this, which makes me believe this is a lot about perhaps some politics involved, like maybe to protect the president, to get a deal with Ghislaine Maxwell that she would get some immunity now and maybe a hidden part in the future, some sort of implication that she would be part in the future if she comes out and says that the president is exonerated, was not involved in any criminal activity.
So why is it people who know what they're talking about are wrong, but the people who don't know what they're talking about and have every incentive to cover this up somehow do know what they're talking about over normalcy and who knows how long, decades of precedent and how these things work? You shouldn't believe them. But I want to focus in on one more time on Todd Blanche, who's on the up and up, and Trump has no idea what he's saying or doing, but the things that he's saying and doing must be perfect. There's a reason why he said that. Because again, he hung out with Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney and Ghislaine Maxwell for hours, and they answered all the questions that they had, he said.
We had a very productive day today with the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell. First, we want to thank the Deputy Attorney General for being so professional with all of us and for meeting with us. He took a full day and asked a lot of questions, and Ms. Maxwell answered every single question. She never stopped, she never invoked a privilege. She never declined to answer. She answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, and to the best of her ability. And that's all the comment we're going to have today about the meeting. We don't want to comment about the substance of the meeting for obvious reasons, and we'll go from there. So thank you all so much.
Will you guys be coming back for a second day?
We're not going to comment on that now. Thank you.
After that productive meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney and Todd Blanche, she was soon whisked away to that minimum security prison camp. I see how productive it was. It was quite productive with the guy who's there to just interview her and get more information out of her. Did you guys know this? Todd Blanche, that very honest guy that Donald Trump was just talking about, when he met with that attorney, with that defense attorney for Ghislaine Maxwell, did you guys know that they're best friends? Here, they're like best friends.
But David, and I mean, in all seriousness, to you, I know a lot of people that have worked with you. I know a lot of people who know you very well. I now consider you a friend and someone who I know pretty well. You are by far the best out there, and I'll always say yes to this podcast. It could be the first three-peat.
Let's do a three-peat.
But David, and I mean, in all seriousness, to you, I know a lot of people that have worked with you. I know a lot of people who know you very well. I now consider you a friend and someone who I know pretty well. You are by far the best out there, and I'll always say yes to this podcast. It could be the first three-peat.
Let's do a three-peat.
It's going to be a three-peat. He loves him. So let's meet in private and talk about this very important case that's protecting the president of the United States. I have one last clip because, you know, in case people want to believe everything that Donald Trump has to say, they're so tight. I mean, they just talk about random things.
People took a picture and saw all the candy and stuff in the war room. Was it McDonald's for lunch every single day, or did you get something else?
Oh, no. Well, first of all, I didn't have lunch one day because
you didn't eat during. You have to eat during the trial.
No.
What do you mean?
I ate in the morning and at night. Well, so the food, look, the President Trump's team takes care of everybody. Like, everybody gets food. You know, there's a lot of food. It's not always McDonald's. There's a variety. There's pizza and there's other non-healthy alternatives to McDonald's.
They can yuck it up about the dinners that were given during trial that Donald Trump lost and had 34 felony convictions on his record for that they completely ignore now. But we were given more than McDonald's pizza sometimes. Oh, this is so funny, Todd. You know what? I love you too, David. But trust me, everything that they were talking about was on the up and up.